we have quite an adventure. This time, Galisteo is going to a museum. Wait till you see how he does that. The Friends of the Library invited Mrs. B and me to the library a few months ago. Mrs. B was speaking about me, Gally, and the books she has written about my adventures. Mr. B brought me to the library, and we had such a great time meeting all the people. While we were there at the library, I noticed all kinds of neat paintings along with hundreds of books. They were all so colorful for me to see. I also heard the bees talking to a lady about a new museum in a nearby city that wanted more additions. Paintings, sculptures, and antiques. I wondered, what was that, a museum? I wanted to see all those things they were talking about, but I was confused by the words antiques, museum. Was a museum a place? Another library? But when they described what it was as a big building renovated to have all those things, I began to understand it was a special building where all kinds of interesting things, especially artistic ones, could be displayed. Then the bees mentioned that they knew about this museum and they were donating from our home a big, beautiful carved Chinese chest. I began to understand what an antique was, an old, beautiful piece of furniture. Their chest was no longer in use, but sometimes they opened it up and let me climb in and sleep a while. In addition, there were old, gorgeous quilts they kept in the chest. So later that night, thinking about a possible adventure to the museum, I decided to try hiding underneath the quilts, even though it was hot. I love sleeping in warm places, though, so I thought it might be a great experience for me. It was. The more the bees talked and made arrangements to move the chest, the more anxious I became. I just had to have a museum adventure. You know me, Gally, the adventurer. Donnie, my roommate, was more interested in being outside playing with squirrels, so I figured I could hide in some way and go with the bees. The bees began cleaning the chest, removing my cat fur from the quilts. They washed them and folded them to put back in the chest before putting it in the car. So when the car trunk was opened, as they were planning to put the chest inside, I jumped inside the truck and hid in the very back behind some beach towels. The chest was closed when they put it in the car and put the folded quilts on top of it instead of inside. That gave me good coverage. Off we went. Once at the new museum, they opened the trunk to get the chest and quilts out. First they took the chest, and I chose to sneak out as they were inserting the quilts inside of it. They didn't see me, so I decided to run up the stairs to the museum like I had done in the library years ago after I got lost one night. Once inside, the people saw me and wanted to hold me, pet me, and hug me. It was so fun. I just purred and purred. A very nice museum worker took me all around. She showed me paintings, sculptures, carvings, jewelry, and ancient books. Suddenly, the bees were staring in my face. Gally, what are you doing here? How did you get here? Did you hide in the car while we were loading the chest? The museum lady was shocked that they knew me and told them that I was hers now. She wanted to keep me, and she held on very tightly to me. The bees burst into laughter and said to me, Gally, go back the way you came here. You are ours. Don't be a rascal. Go." The bees were teasing me by calling me a rascal, as that was what I was called years ago before they got me from the animal shelter. They were the ones who gave me the official name of Galisteo. I wiggled, purred at the lady, and managed to get loose of her arms without scratching or biting. I ran outside, down the stairs, and to the bee's car in the parking lot. I hid underneath the car, knowing if she tried to find me there, she was too big to crawl under the car to get me. Meanwhile, the bees finished delivering the chest. They did thank the museum lady for her kindness to me, and then hurried to the car, knowing I'd be hiding there somewhere. Once the front door opened, I jumped inside and crawled onto Mrs. B's lap. She hugged me, and I purred, snuggling against her. Mr. B drove off, laughing and telling me, "Gally, you are perfect." Well, I want to thank you so much. This was really fun, and I know Galisteo had a very fun time too. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.